The Nicobar Islands are located off the Indian mainland and are home to the indigenous Nicobarese people. In the years preceding the tsunami of 2004, the Indian government asked me to document their way of life. Typical villages are tucked behind mangroves and along the calm waters of sheltered bays. The Nicobaris live in homes built on stilts to protect them from flooding during the rainy season and to help keep out reptiles and insects. They source food by hunting and gathering and fishing in bays and coral reefs. They also raise pigs. Pigs are culturally important since they signify wealth and prosperity. Entire families will help to pluck and shell coconuts to produce copra. At a nearby market, copra is exchanged with traders from the Indian mainland for rice, sugar, kerosene, and clothes. While living on the islands, I documented many elaborate festivals and ceremonies. Before taking part in a ritual, I had to be initiated by receiving a garland made of banana leaves and having coconut oil and fowl's blood smeared on my skin. Then on the 26th of December 2004, the Asian earthquake and tsunami struck. The islands were very close to the earthquake's epicenter and were hit multiple times by enormous waves. The quake broke Trinket Island into several pieces. Pilpilo village was now entirely gone, and the villages on Chora Island were completely destroyed. Even concrete structures built by the Indian government, such as a primary school and health center, were completely flattened. Some islands were considered unfit for living, and all the inhabitants were displaced to neighboring islands. But the people of Chora would not accept being separated from the ancestral land. Despite being unsafe, they wanted to go back and rebuild a normal life. All they wanted were tools to rebuild their homes and villages and to plant food gardens. But tools did not arrive until months after, and when they arrived, they were too low quality to be of much use. Meanwhile, the Indian government commissioned the building of temporary villages using financial contributions from NGOs. Houses were made from tin sheets. The shelters were extremely hot inside with little ventilation. The Nicobaris lived in these temporary villages for 2 years. Each family was compensated with a lot of money. Money was virtually unknown to the Nicobaris prior to the tsunami. They started to desire consumer goods. With the money received, the Nicobaris purchased televisions. Many bought motorcycles. It hurt me to see these changes in such a short time. People quarreled over these goods and for more compensation money. Everyone felt that others had received more than them. A mobile network was also introduced, and Nicobaris used some of the cash they received to buy mobile phones. For 5 years, they received free food in huge quantities, so much that some of it went to waste. The Nicobaris no longer had incentives to make their own homes or to work for food. I was seeing a self-reliant and self-sufficient community become dependent on the outside world. Meanwhile, external building companies were commissioned to build permanent villages. The material used for these houses was mainly concrete and steel imported from the Indian mainland. Transporting the construction material was a huge logistical challenge. Machines were brought in and roads were constructed to bring these materials to villages. The homes were made to accommodate nuclear families and not the large extended families they used to live with. In 2005, to counter the logic of unsustainable aid, a fund was created in Austria. The money was meant to support the self-rehabilitation efforts of the Nicobaris. We encouraged Nicobaris community mobilizers to come up with plans and envision their own future, to design their own projects in consultation with the community. These caps represent the expected roles to be carried out by different members. The tsunami and the resulting flood of aid means the Nicobaris can never fully return to their old traditions and way of life. But it has become ever more important to prepare for the future, to teach them how to survive in a modern world, and to integrate new changes into their cultural fabric on their own terms. This is what the current leadership strives to achieve, and so far it's working.